Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Today I'll be working on my Hibiscus Bonsai. There's a lot of shoots that are kind of getting long and need pruning back. There's a lot of new growth coming out, sometimes in the wrong places. So I'll be doing a pruning and a cleaning up of the tree. I'll rotate the tree around so you can see what it looks like. This is the front of the tree. The trunk is kind of leaning towards you. It's getting a lot of nice mature bark on it. It's looking quite nice actually. And we come around to the side here and you can see a lot of pruning spots on the trunk. This was just started. It was my mom's plant that she had on her front patio. So it wasn't never meant to be a bonsai, but now it is. So I had to do a lot of pruning at first to get, a single trunk line and a lot of big cuts. So there's the side. This is the back view now. And you can see this is the side of the tree that was facing the window. So all the growth is kind of reaching towards the window. And all the leaves are angled towards the window. So when I put it back on the bench after today's work, I will turn it around so the front of the tree will be facing the window and it'll kind of equalize out all that growth. So back to the side view here. And then coming back to the front. This tree was pruned quite hard just under a year ago. So a lot of new shoots have come out on the branches. So today I can go in and select what new branches I want to develop. I may be pruning some branches back to that new growth and just kind of refining the overall structure of the tree. Here's a close-up of one of the branch tips. And you can see the previous pruning points here, here. And there's new branches that have developed coming out. So yeah, when you hard prune a tree back, you get a lot of new shoots and you get a lot of new choices for your future branch structure. I'll start the pruning today by cleaning up anything, obviously in the wrong place. Like there's shoots coming out on the trunk here that I don't want. So I'll take those off. There's a branch growing from the inside of the curve here. Take that off also. Another one at the back here. I'm going to prune up this lowest branch next. It's getting a little long, the shoots on it, so I'll take it back, this branch, to a set of leaves way back here, like that. And this branch can be pruned back to here. I noticed there's a little white fly on this plant. So I'm trying to kill all the ones I see. You can see them on the bottom of the leaves and I just crush them. There's not many on it, but just a few flying around. So when I've finished pruning today, I'll give it a spray with soap and water. And that'll kill the white fly. This branch, I'll take it back to here. There was another white fly just went flying away. On the bottom of the leaves, you can see some spots, which I don't know if they're eggs or that one just flew back and I just squished it. White flies are kind of funny. They fly off the branch and they seem to always return to the same plant. So if you watch them, they come back and then you can kill them. That's got that lowest branch pruned up now. You can see it's a lot more compact. A lot more compact. There's a leaf, a little shoot growing up from the top of the branch here. Remove that. There's one here. Just a new little branch that I don't want. So there's one coming from the bottom here also. Do I want to keep that one or do I want to get rid of it? I would say I don't think I'll ever use it because, I've got the nice branch come up here and it arches down. This one onto the bottom here, I could cut this branch off here someday. I don't know. I'll just take this one leaf off for now and we'll leave that branch there. Just in case someday in the far future I need to, if this gets too thick, I can always start it off again from down here. So I'll leave it on for now. So that's got that lowest branch pruned up. While I'm down at the lower part of the tree, I can see the moss is starting to climb up the trunk a bit, and it's covering up any surface roots that are on this tree. So my next step, I'll clean up the base of the tree. I'll come in with my tweezers to start off with and just kind of remove a bit of moss from the base here, so it's not growing right up beside the trunk. There's a surface root I see. This tree does have a fairly nice root base developing on it. It's had quite a few root prunings in its life, and the root base is slowly getting better each time I repot the tree. So it's a shame to, if you're developing nice surface roots, you want to show them off a bit. You don't want them totally covered in moss. So you can see I'm pruning this moss sort of a ring around the base of the tree, and it'll creep back in and grow in there. Any moss that's climbing up the base of the trunk you want to remove also. Keep that bark looking good. I'll get out my toothbrush also, and we'll give the bark a quick, just a dry brushing. That'll help get any algae off it, any little bits of moss. When I'm viewing the tree from the front, this bit of moss is kind of blocking your view of the root base. So I'm going to remove the moss from the front here, kind of so it also kind of guides your eye into the trunk of the tree. So now you can see in at the root base much more clearly. I think that's looking better. I'll just spray the base of the tree with some water to kind of wash any of that sand away. Just kind of clean up the root base a bit. I've got the lower half of the tree cleaned up to about here. And now we'll start on the canopy. And I'll start on this branch. I've got a branch that comes up from the tree. And at this point, I've got some horizontal branches that are developed. So if I wanted to grow this branch more horizontally, I could develop these more horizontal branches and prune off the part that's reaching upwards. If I want the branch to reach upwards, I can develop that section that grows upwards and continue to develop it into a taller broom style tree. So what I need to do now is to step back and look at the design of the tree and decide what direction I want to go for the tree in the future. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to look at the front view and try and make some styling decisions. I'll start with some of the faults. On this side of the tree, I've got my kind of extension of the leader kind of goes up here, and I've got a branch coming up this direction, and then right about here I have a vertical branch that kind of interferes with this one coming off here. So I've kind of got two branches that look like they're pinching each other. They're kind of converging or coming towards each other here. So I should clean that up to get my structure looking a little more open. The rest of the tree is looking quite nice, I think. I don't see any sort of major faults with it. Maybe towards the tip of this branch, I could get rid of some of that upright growth and maybe continue it growing more horizontally. Generally, there's a lot of vertical growth that's just new shoots that are shooting up that need pruning back. But I think the overall styling's looking okay, kind of a low umbrella canopy. I think that was my intended style for the tree, and I think we'll continue on that path. Here's that area where this branch is growing kind of straight up. I do have another branch that's growing more horizontally at the base of that branch. So I could develop this branch coming out here and remove this one entirely. And I think that would improve this branch a lot. So I'll do that. All right, so here I go. And I'm going to be very careful not to damage this shoot here. So I'll prune it a little high, and then next time I'm cleaning up the tree, I'll carve this flush. Better to be safe than sorry. So here I go. That branch is off. At the base of the canopy here, there's a lot of leaves that are kind of crisscrossing and kind of cluttering up that area. So I'm going to selectively remove some of these leaves so you can see the structure in there. That dead leaf in there. There's a shoot growing out the bottom of this branch here. I don't think I'll need that. I'm going to remove it. Oh, a little white fly flying around there. There's a shoot growing on the inside here that I'm going to remove also. Don't need that one. That kind of clutters that area up. Move that branch too, or that leaf. I've got a shoot here that I don't want. I'm going to remove that like that. I want to be able to see this structure here, not just all a jumble of leaves. Okay, there may be some out the back I'll have to remove, like right from here. I'll have a look. I'll rotate the tree around and just have a look at all that growth out the back. There's a shoot here I can remove. That's just not necessary. It's a new one that's grown in. It's not part of the structure of the tree. Like that. I have another little branch growing underneath here I don't want. So there's two branches growing up here that I don't want to develop. So I'll come in and remove those. There's one gone. And the other one is in here. Like that. And I'll just clean up that pruning point. That was a big branch I took off, I think, last time. I'll just take this leaf off so I can get in there a little easier. Yeah, I took a big branch off here last time to develop this one, and I want to clean that cut up a little bit. Let's go back to the front now. That's cleaned up this structure at the base of the canopy quite nicely. I'm going to look at this branch now. I've got some branch I want to keep there. The one underneath here I don't want, so I'll remove that. There's just a little shoot growing on the underside of the branch here. Get rid of that. I do want to keep, I've got some branches fanning out here. I want to keep those, but I think I will remove that upper part. Just going to remove a leaf there. I'm going to remove this part that's going upwards and keep my more horizontal branching. So here I go. I'm going to remove that. Get through there. Like that. I'll also remove this leaf that's shooting straight upwards just to clean the branch up and get a little more light in. There's a leaf here I could prune back. Like that. That's looking good. I'll just clean up some previous pruning points. I've got a stub sticking out here. I can get rid of that. Like that. That cleans that branch up quite nicely now. I want to do the same cleanup type work on this branch here, keeping it more horizontal and getting rid of all this upright growth. So I'll rotate that around and we'll have a look at that. So this is the branch here, and there's a lot happening here. There's a lot of leaves. I need to clean it up a bit, some of these leaves, so I can see what's going on here. Just so I can see what structure is in there. So hopefully, get rid of this one too. There's what it's looking like. So I've got a lot of horizontal branching, and then again I have this one that's going uphill. So I'm going to remove that entirely. All right, so I'll remove this upper part entirely. So here I go. Just like that. Next, I want to equalize the growth at the tip here, so I'll prune it back to here, like that, just to kind of grow all these branches out with equal vigor. Move that top leaf there. Now, I've got a lot of branches at the tip here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's quite woody. So from the front, it looks good. I don't think I need these two little ones at the tip, but I do hate to get rid of them. They flow nicely. Oh, so do all the rest, but I'll just get rid of the one. I'll keep the other one for now, because the branch kind of does come and it has a branch here, and this one then divides into two. So I'll keep that one on for now. It's not doing any harm. I'll remove a leaf here just to clean it up a bit. There's a leaf that's in here being squished there. There's another shoot growing the inside over here that I want to remove. Like that. Let's have a look from the front now. There's a view looking at the front view. Yeah, I like those branches much more, being more horizontal. I think that suits the style of the tree nicely. This back branch here, I've got a shoot that's kind of pointing in towards the center of the tree. I'll remove that. I'll come in and remove that branch that's kind of pointing towards the inside here. It's gone. I'm going to prune back some of these long growing tips now. So I'll just nip this one off here, like that. I'll move that part of it. Just taking the tip off. And I've got a long one out the back here. I'll just take it off to here. Like that. That gets the tree a little more compact. Maybe I will take this back a little further. Back to here. I'm around the back of the tree, and there's some cleanup I can do here. I've got a branch growing in towards the center of the tree here. That needs to be removed, so I'll take that off, like there. I'll prune this one just back a little bit more. There's a branch here. Move this leaf. It comes out and divides. There's two branches coming off of it. And I don't think I need this leader, so I'm going to take the leader off and develop the two branches coming out the back of the tree. It'll make it look a little fuller out the back. So that one branch divides into two, and then I'll further ramify it as it develops. There's a branch growing from the underside of one of my major branches that doesn't need to be there. We'll get rid of that. There's a little shoot in here I can remove. There's one growing up top I can remove, like that. Those I can keep. They're not too bad. That one's all right. I finished all the pruning on the tree, so I'll spin it around so you can see it from all directions. So here I go. So even though the canopy isn't quite as dense, you can see it's cleaned up the structure nicely, and you know, as it fills in again, it'll look even better. Because my hibiscus had some whitefly on it, I'm going to collect up all the leaves, put them in a plastic bag, and then I'll chuck that outside in the snow. I haven't noticed whitefly on any other trees in the plant room, so I find whitefly can be very selective. You know, they stick to one plant that they like. I will spray the plant also, so we'll do that next. Okay, so that's got all the leaves. I'll just close the bag up. I'll put that outside in the snow, and that'll kill them. I'm going to spray the tree now, and I've got my solution in here. It's 1 part liquid dish soap to 40 parts water. When you shake it up, you can see the foam on the top here. Before I spray the tree, I've checked it over for beneficial insects, so spiders and ladybugs, and I don't see any on the tree, so it's safe to spray it now. So here I go. And I'll start at the top, like that. And then I'll come up underneath the tree and get the underside of the leaves, and then the trunk and the surface of the moss and the soil. And that should do it. I'll let that soak for a few minutes, and then I'll rinse it off with rainwater. I'm coming in now with the rainwater, and I'll give it a rinsing. And I come up underneath. Like that. I'll give the soil a good soak to rinse out any soap out of the soil. And that should be good. My hibiscus bonsai is all ready to grow again, develop more ramification, and just continue to get better in the future. Let's go outside now for today's update. Today's update is all my hardy trees. If we go over here and look on the benches, you'll see there's no trees left outside. I do have a few in my greenhouse that I couldn't fit in the basement. In the greenhouse here, I have a juniper that was on sale in fall for $5. So that'll be coming up, a styling of that. I've got a elm behind it. My Manitoba maples, 2 of the 3 survived. My red maple, my large red maple. My Cascade style Thuja occidentalis. Some of my maple seedlings. A black willow back there, a few birch trees, some more maple seedlings, and there's some little cedar seedlings that are growing in that pot too. That'll eventually go in the Avatar Grove forest. My collected white pine, 2 American elms, that one, my smaller ones, and another birch tree. That's about it. I am going to try and find some room in the basement and try and fit them all in, but for now they'll just have to stay in the greenhouse here. It's better than being, directly outside. So let's go down to the basement now and have a look at all the trees that are safely tucked away. All right, let's head down the steps. Down into the basement. And here's all the trees. They're all packed in here. There's 3 tables. I'll put a light on, maybe that'll help. There's the light on. So, yeah, you can see everything's tucked in here. Lots of wild landscapes. That's my pine tree, root over rock. The larch forest in behind it there. My single larch tree, a Scots pine there, my large American elm here, the Avatar Grove, all my cedars and all kinds of trees, the Douglas fir forest, my rosemary, the very back there, the Osage oranges. Yeah, so everything's in here except for those few that are still outside. I just can't fit them in. Maybe if I put one more table here, I can fit the rest in. That's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.